I think first and foremost, the most important quality is kindness. I think you have to be kind to your students. In my experience thus far of tutoring, you have to understand their flaws, accept their flaws, and really try to help them sort of get better and grow and to kind of get stronger and to turn the flaws into strengths almost, which can sometimes be harder than it might seem. I think the second most important quality, and although really almost on a par with kindness, is empathy. I think you have to understand the student, understand where they're coming from, and understand what they're struggling with in order to be able to actually help them learn the material that you're trying to teach. And I think it's also, empathy is crucial in terms of it allows you to know when to try to push a point across and when to sort of let go and let the student have maybe a little bit of a, not a break, but like a breather within the session, and to do something a little bit more relaxed, and then when to really try and get like the hard conceptual points across quickly. And then I think the final quality, which is probably one of my top three for being a teacher, is intelligence. I think, particularly depending on what material you're covering, but I've done a lot of Oxbridge tutoring, and for Oxbridge entrance exams, you have to be able to do the material, and you have to be able to come up with interesting problems, and you have to be able to solve the problems for Oxford interviews, Oxford math interviews in my case. And that's quite a hard process. So, you know, there's a lot going on there, and you have to be intelligent to do that. The next question I was asked to answer was what my best experience and biggest challenge was as a tutor. And actually, incidentally, it's kind of, they're kind of one and the same. So I've had two fairly long stints now tutoring kids with OCD, quite bad OCD as well at that. And that has been both the most challenging thing I've ever done as a teacher, and probably one of the most rewarding as well, because you'll try to get something across to a kid and they'll spend like 10 minutes doodling on the side of a page, or going on their phone, or looking at Facebook, or and constantly having to try to bring them back into focus on the material you want them to be looking at is very, very hard. But when you do manage to do that, and you do manage to get a point across, and you know, maybe even on a wider perspective, when you get to see their attention span improving on account of the tutoring you're doing, that's probably been the most rewarding thing I've seen as a tutor. And then the final question was why I got into teaching and what sort of other work I did. And to be completely honest, I got into teaching because I'm currently a student, and it was quite a nice, well-paid part-time job to sort of pump up my my student loan. But actually, as I've done it more and more, I found it more and more rewarding for its own sake. And I really, really like that about it. I mean, obviously, earning a salary is important, but I also like the fact that actually it's some work I really, really enjoy. And yeah, my other work is being a student, essentially. So I'm currently doing a maths and philosophy master's at Oxford, and so that's what I do on the side of tutoring.